30 do's and don'ts in Japan. Crucial etiquettes to know before you go. Japan is a place where you can feel the past in every footstep. The culture is steeped in tradition and rooted in ancient customs. Politeness is a way of life in Japan, and the general foundation of behavior is that if in any way what you're doing could offend or inconvenience someone else, you don't do it. So, before you pack your bags and fly to Japan, here are a few of the cultural do's and don'ts in Japan. But before we go into the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also press the bell icon for more updates. Number 1. Ask someone's age. Asking a person their age is a good icebreaker question. It also emphasizes respect towards elder people. Number 2. Remove your shoes. This is an absolute must thing to do before entering a room. This is because all of the flooring of their rooms is made of tatami mats, and walking in with shoes can damage them. Number 3. Don't address them by their name. Always use san when you address by their name. It's similar to Miss or Mrs., which is considered a sign of respect. Number 4. Be quiet in public transportation. Avoid speaking loudly when in public. Making phone calls or playing videos with sound could be a nuisance to those around you. Number 5. Do not walk on the wrong side. It may seem weird, but walking on the opposite side of Japanese streets may impede pedestrian flow and it messes up the orderliness that Japan loves so much. You should walk on the left while on streets and in elevators and moving walkways. You should stand on the left and pass on the right. Number 6. Do not blow your nose. Blowing your nose in public is considered rude in Japan, and the people have been wearing masks long before COVID-19 struck. This is primarily to avoid getting others sick and to prevent getting sick from others. Number 7. Avoid maintaining an eye contact. This is a general rule for talking with strangers and casual acquaintances and does not apply to close friends. Unless you're in a meeting with a business, it is considered rude and aggressive to maintain eye contact. You should only look at their eyes 25% of the time just to show that you're invested in their conversation. Try nodding more instead. Number 8. Do not leave a tip. While it is considered as a kind and caring gesture to tip the waiter in many countries, it is considered rude in Japan. You might feel uncomfortable with this concept, but tipping is not expected, and trying to tip would only lead to confusion. But there's an exception. It is completely normal to tip the tour guides while traveling, just to make sure to wrap it on paper and politely handle it to them. Number 9. Don't skip the queue. Wherever you see, Japanese people are taught to stay in line, and they never skip the queue. Number 10. Do not litter. The Japanese are really hygienic and are adamant about recycling. If you have been to Japan, you will notice that Japan is one of the countries that are really into packaging things beautifully and putting them on display. When it comes to recycling, you would not see rubbish bins around the cities, because people don't litter anything on streets and everything that can be recycled gets recycled. Number 11. Bring your business card. Maishi, or the exchange of business cards, is an important part of Japanese business etiquettes. They love business cards, and you don't have to be there on business to offer your card. Always offer the card by facing it Japanese side outwards towards the recipient. Offering a card with both hands is a sign of greater respect. Make sure to print a card that looks good and is printed on both the sides with details. Do not show it in your pocket or handbag, instead keep it in a card holder. Number 12. Do slurp and burp. Slurping and burping very loudly while eating their food is seen as a sign of enjoyment of the meal. The louder the slurping sound, the more you have enjoyed the meal. It seems concerning for the Westerners, but the Japanese have been doing it for ages. Number 13. Don't eat or smoke while walking. Walking down the street while eating or smoking is something you should do while in Japan. If you accidentally spill something on the streets, there is a chance that someone will step on it and cause them inconvenience. So, it's advised to step aside and stand still while you eat. This is similar when it comes to smoking. It's generally preferred that you smoke while standing still and in a designated place if you're near one to limit the number of non-smokers exposed to your smoke. Number 14. Do learn to use chopsticks. Chopsticks are one of the core utensils used in Japan cuisine that had been carried on for centuries in tradition and a language all their own. There are certain rules you need to follow while using chopsticks. Never stab your food with it. That's considered poor etiquettes. Do not stick them in your food vertically. That kind of ritual is performed at funeral services, and that's considered a very disrespectful move. Never rub your chopsticks together. It sends a message that you don't like the restaurant's quality. Number 15. Do learn their drinking customs. Having a few drinks at the end of the day is part of Japanese culture with a few local customs. The general rule is to not drink it alone. You should not take a sip until everyone else has received their drinks. Never pour your own sake or drink. Keep an eye on each other's glasses, and it is considered polite to offer to refill other people's drinks. Number 16. Bow like a pro. One of the common ways to show respect towards other people is by bowing to them. It should be done from the waist down with your neck and back straight. As a tourist, you will want to bow properly, at least when you're meeting or greeting someone, apologizing, or thanking someone. Number 17. Be on time. If there's something that the Japanese are best at, it's their discipline, and one of which is punctuality. Soon after you reach Japan, you'll realize that public transportation runs on time. Even if a train comes 1 minute late, the train conductor comes out and apologizes to the passengers. Everything happens on time, so you do not want to miss a Shinkansen with assigned seats. That's why you need to be on time, especially for a meeting on public transportation. Number 18. Do wash off before getting in a public bath. One of the experiences that you could get to see in Japan is visiting a public bath, especially if you come from an area with no hot springs. You could soak yourself in natural hot springs with fascinating views of fall colors. But before getting into the bath, make sure to wash first. They have an area with a bucket, stool, and a shower. Another thing to remember is never to dip your towel in a hot tub. It is considered to be unsanitary. You should never wear a swimsuit unless it is mentioned at the place. Number 19. Do not block the escalator. Either stand left or right side of the escalator to let others pass. You don't want to block the path of others, so it's better to see what others are doing and follow their lead. Number 20. Do not block the door. Never block the door because once the train arrives, the door opens, people get off the train first and people wait in line to get in. Number 21. Do try pachinko. Pachinko is one of the few things and ways to gamble in Japan illegally. Even though it is not allowed, you're just trading your winnings for a voucher to get drinks or food. Number 22. Learn some Japanese phrases. It is nice to be able to say thank you or good morning to the country you're visiting. Try the phrases arigato for thank you, onegai shimasu for please, and gomen nasai for sorry. Number 23. Do not get into a drinking competition. If there is something you need to avoid while in Japan, it's to stay away from getting into a drinking fight with locals. That is because you can get really drunk and it would affect their work the next day, not to say you would feel as if you have died 1,000 deaths. Number 24. Do try karaoke. This is a favorite pastime for the Japanese. All the booths in Japan are private, so you can only make a fool of yourself in private unless someone uploads it on YouTube. Number 25. Get a Suica card. It is an e-card that can be used on trains and to pay for goods. It can be used at convenience stores, etc., making it easy to purchase things. Number 26. Do play with vending machines. Vending machines can be seen in every corner of Japan. These are constantly stocked and restocked, particularly the food vending machines. If you're in Japan, don't forget to try one of those. Number 27. Never finish your meal or drink. It would put the Japanese people under the assumption that they had not been fed enough. This could be insulting to the people who pride themselves on their hospitality. Number 28. Cell phone. You can use your cell phones, but don't use them on trains, subways, etc. There should be respect for others by keeping quiet. Number 29. Do stay in a ryokun. It is a traditional Japanese inn, generally with local owners and tatami mat floors. This will give you a good sense of the culture of the country. Number 30. Do travel by public transportation. Japan has excellent public transportation. Trains and subways are the perfect choices to travel anywhere. So with that, we have come to the end of this video. If you want to include it in the list, let us know in the comments. Do give us a thumbs up if you liked the video. We'll surely meet next time again. Until then, bye bye.